Okay. So, like I said before, all these sections are uploaded. This is the daily breaking news where we sit here and talk about the topics of the day. Normally, I would focus on one topic only, and then break everything down. But this morning, there's just so much news across the board and different things that sound so good and positive, which is why I really believe we're going to dump. Because it's just kind of how they work it. And I know I don't focus directly on XRP news wise all the time. I kind of do in general of finance, but this is something I wanted us to listen to today because it kind of just dropped low key yesterday. And I know this has got 658,000 tweets now, but I don't stalk a lot of people's tweets, but I saw this and I was like, oh man, let's listen. And so if you haven't heard this yet, I think it's time for you to listen to it. Let me put my headphones on. And let's go ahead and hit this play button. Let's do it. I don't stalk a lot. Listen. And so, if you... Oh man, there's no audio. All right, let's try this again. Why is audio being messed up recently? You know, I'm not understanding. Let's see, desktop monitor, mic monitor. We don't want to mute the output. Let's try this. Let's try this again. Let's see if you can hear it. Shall we? All right. Says on. Let's try.
So the paths are leading to some form of a digital currency. So do you think it's coincidence?
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
That we're now at the exact same moment seeing executive orders and mandates come out, and in it there is talk of a coming Federal Reserve digital dollar.
No, it's par for the course as far as I am concerned. I mean, how far along they are, I'm not certain. I have looked into this fairly deeply. There is some talk of going on the back of, let's say, an XRP or some other currency that's out there now that's functioning well and has been basically tested, and then putting a CBDC on top of that. That certainly could be achieved. And if it were, it could expedite how quickly this comes to the fore. I think before.
So the path.
Let me know if you guys just heard that. Sounds like you guys heard it. Okay, so David Morgan on Stansberry said that, yay, we have audio. Thanks, Dragonfire. Appreciate it. I was checking that earlier. Okay, so it says that they're talking about the digital dollar here. That's what was described, right? And then they said, he just kind of slipped it in there that CBDCs are going to be built on the back of XRP. Like, what? Like, hold on. Did you just slide that in there just nonchalant? Oh, man, are you guys ready? Like, are you ready? Now, I didn't do too much on who David Morgan is. So I'll look into this guy. I don't know how much if it really matters who this guy is. I mean, he's on there. I'm not going to refute who Stansberry Research brings on because I believe they bring on some of the best people across the board. But for him to slip in there and say, like XRP is going to be on the back, like that's a big deal. Just slowly, little breadcrumbs, just dropping it to you. Just try. And I just want to play that for you. That's all. Just remind you to hodl. It's happening. It's happening. But what? Let's talk. Let's talk not speculation, even though we believe it's true. Let's talk about what's actually happening and what happened a couple days ago. Okay, so this is a couple days ago. I know it's just kind of hitting now, but Jamaica introduces its CBDC to support those who are financially excluded. Now, what does that mean? They have done their central bank digital currency, so now that they can give money to people who don't have banks, that's what they say. I'll just say that they can watch more people now. They now have their eyes on more people. So that's what this says. It says the Central Bank of Jamaica doubled down on its plans to design a digital version of its national currency. Jamaica is yet another nation that pursues the launch of a central bank digital currency. In February this year, the central bank announced that everything was ready to release of the product. The institution even chose a name for the CBDC. You guys remember it? We talked about it. It was called Jamdex. That would be Jamaica. Jamdex, man. Right? So that is where they are. I just wanted to catch you up on that because throughout the Caribbean region, right? The Caribbean region, which is interesting because you had the sand dollar. They're really starting to get CBDCs. You know, you got the Bahamas, which in 2020 lost the sand dollar. Like I said, you got D-Cash was also introduced in 2021. And what is it? Antigua, Bermuda, Grenada, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Earlier this month, the Jamaican government said it will spend awareness and bolster the employment of Jamdex by dropping $16, which is equal to 2,500 Jamaican dollars, to the first 100,000 citizens who set up the CBDC after April 1st. I meant to highlight this for you. Bink. That's what I wanted to highlight. They're going to give $16 to get up CBDC. Are you telling me that we're not hurting? That people aren't hurting around the world? $16 to give away your financial freedom. Remember when they were paying people to take that little COVID shot? They still are. It's still there. In fact, my daughter's school, they're giving people $50 to the parents if they get their kids vaccinated. Yes, here in Dallas, she's only going to this school for the rest of this year. But here in Dallas, they're paying people at the school, the parents, if their kids get vaccinated. That is insane. And this is equal. So again, anything the government pays you to do, you just gotta be watchful. Because they sure and heck come after you for taxes when you don't pay them. So when they start to give you money, that should open your eyes. Because nothing is free. Nothing is free. And Dragonfire, I knew you would come through. He says, David Morgan is an analyst in the precious metals industry and consults for hedge funds, high net worth investors, mining companies, depositories, and bullion dealers. That's gold. He is the author of the Silver Manifesto. Well, thanks. So for him to say, so he's involved in bullion and silver, and then he mentions XRP, we all know. If you start going down that tinfoil hat rabbit hole that we call XRP, we all know. Do we not? We all know that we have said XRP can be backed by gold or silver, or XTC is copper and XLM is silver. You know, our whole, as a community, our tinfoil hat connecting cryptos to assets. And we seemed crazy until what? Russia just pegged its ruble to gold. Then we're going to get on that. We're going to get into that. But thank you, Dragonfire, for that. Well, I appreciate that, brother. I wish I could give you can I give you likes and stuff on here? Are these things possible to give people who do things like likes? It doesn't look like it. It says you can pin it. I can pin the message. Nope. Okay, well, I'll just tell you that you're cool. And I'm going to put a custom emoji right here. And I'm going to smile. I'm going to give one of these. Can I do that? And then hit enter? That's what I'm going to do as I learn to interact here with people. So that's what we're looking at there. Now, why are we going from CBDCs over to the next section here? And the next section of this is CBDCs are pegged as stablecoins, right? That's what a CBDC is supposed to be, a central bank digital currency that is stable. Well, this follows up with this algorithmic stablecoin called Neutrino, okay? This is just not good for the space. Waves. You guys remember Waves. I've been using Waves, I think Waves was something I remember in 2018, 2017. I feel like Waves is back in the day. Anyway, it's backing the stablecoin and it dropped more than 26%. The USDN was trading at about 79 cents. It's supposed to be $1. I should not be able to trade for profit a stablecoin. Can you believe that? Like, this is interesting. So it says the failure comes in wake of the fall last year of Iron Finance. And we'll get into these little finance things because we're going to talk about this today on the show. Okay? So the failure comes in wake of last year's fall of Iron Finance, a decentralized finance project that sought to build a stablecoin without being backed by fiat currencies. Neutrino had a market value of about 828 million, making it the 101st largest cryptocurrency, and Waves is valued about 3.9 billion. And here's our chart. This is Waves. So we know that this is a very volatile market, and that looks like a fifth wave move right there, and it just dumped down good volume. Looks normal. That looks about normal. The fact that someone wants to peg a stablecoin to a regular cryptocurrency, that's concerning in itself, right? So you just see that some of these stablecoins are slowly going to go down and go down and go down slowly. And then again, the Terra blockchain, which powers UST Algorithmic stablecoin, recently launched a Bitcoin reserve to help improve the liquidity and the stability being pegged to the dollar. So I just wanted to show you guys that, because you see this dump here, 26% in a stablecoin, right? But then on the other end, because that's supposed to be stable, you see Turkey's inflation hit 61%. 61%. Ooh, where are you guys at? 61% yesterday. 61%. Guys, these things are crashing across the board. Inflation, 61%, we talked about yesterday, right? We talked about it just not in the new creation section, where we talked about the scriptures with Revelation, right, and inflation in the Indies. But really, we talked about Germany and Aldi's raising food prices 20 to 40%. So we actually went shopping at Aldi's. The family and I yesterday went to Aldi's to get our food before the prices go up. And something we noticed about Texas. Shout out to Texas and anybody else here who's listening. 0 taxes on the food that we bought at Aldi's yesterday. No taxes. 0. Zippity doo dah, zippity day, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Tax-free food. What a wonderful idea. Instead of taxing us for the food we buy to eat, they gave us 0 tax. So I spent $54 at Aldi's yesterday, and there was 0 tax. So I bought $54 worth of food and paid $54 worth of US dollar. That is good. No tax. So when you see something like Turkey's inflation 61% up, you see Germany bringing up food taxes, food prices, inflation is here. So hedge your bet. Where are you going to put it? Because obviously the stablecoin and CBDC there is a little shaky. And we talked about the Dow Jones. A little shaky. Well, are you going to put your money in Bitcoin? Oh, here we go. This is what I want. Let me go to here, and then I'm going to move on. So things are a little shaky with inflation, right? We talked about that, and then we talked about wheat and barley yesterday and loaves of bread yesterday. We also spoke about, right, Aldi's inflation. I just said that. Well, this is another Bloomberg article that is interesting, and I'm not going to go into it. I just want to share the headline. Today is kind of a share the headlines kind of day, okay? This one is the 120 billion global grain trade is being redrawn by Russia's war in Ukraine. Now, what does that mean, right? Well, what this means here is 15 million tons of corn. What also this means is where I'm looking for the exact quote that I'm looking for. Here, I'll read this to you. Ukraine is one of the world's biggest exporters of corn, wheat, and sunflower oil. And I just realized sunflower oil, I kind of do that for my creamer, right? Sunflower oil, instead of dealing with all the fake stuff they put, you know, the fake sunflower is pretty good for us. It's in a lot of stuff that we have. Just realized this. Grain exports are currently limited to 500,000 tons a month, down from as much as 5 million tons before the war. A loss of about 1.5 billion, the country's agricultural minister says. Crops from Russia, the world's biggest exporter of wheat, are still flowing, but questions persist over delivery and payment of future cargoes. Again, looking for the possibility of a food shortage that is being created. Corn goes out, wheat comes out, and wheat's supposed to go over here, but we're not seeing that. We're not really seeing these things. There's all this wheat that they can now not get rid of because exchange and currency. It says here, Brazil, a net wheat importer, is also expecting its highest exports of grain in a decade. Exports. Low river levels in neighboring Argentina push sales toward Brazil's Rio Grande do Sul state a bumper harvest, a wheat currency, and a delayed soybean crop that allowed extra time for wheat flows have buoyed sales, according to Walter von Molenfool, a trader with Sierra Morena Commodities. Total wheat exports from the country are set to reach 2.1 million tons for the first 3 months of the year, almost double those in all of 2021. Destinations include Turkey, South Africa, Sudan, and all the first time in the first years, according to data from the Secretaría de Comercio Exterior. This is where we're going. Wheat, food, everything's being short, not just oil. Right? We're seeing directly, and this is what we saw, right? Germany is raising prices 40%. This also goes with Turkey's inflation. Here in America, sanctions, the U.S. dollar back and forth, the ruble doing what they want, people not wanting to work in the U.S. dollar is affecting everything. Everything. So people are really, I think I want to move that article to the end. This article is one of those at the end. I don't want that one yet. Okay? So this is what I want you to look at as a I keep forgetting my train of thought because it's getting to 9:40. This is where we're going here for inflation, right? We spoke about yesterday that's going to bring all prices up, and they're going to be pushing people towards crypto, pushing people towards CBDCs to save the fiat. But remember, CBDCs are still print. So since people are pushing towards crypto, moving towards crypto to get away from the dollar, you see other countries doing their thing and coming onto crypto to shut it down. What do I mean by that? Or tighten it. And you have Singapore passes law to tighten rules for crypto providers, people who provide crypto. So you know what? If I can't get you to not touch it, I'm going to go after the providers. I'm going to go after the hedge fund. I'm going to go after the wealth management folk, right? I'm going to go after the people who are trying to get people into crypto legally by taxing the people who are helping you get in, by coming after you, making it hard for you. What do I mean by that? Here. So in Singapore, the new legislation will require virtual asset service providers in the city, state, which only do business overseas to be licensed, right? So Singapore works. There's other exchanges that, you know, that people in America use or Mexico use or other parts where they're saying, hey, we're going to license you if you're working with out-of-country people because we're worried about, quote-unquote, anti-money laundering. We're worried about counterfeit finance and terrorism. But no one's worried about the U.S. dollar being for that. This is what they're pushing on crypto. Now that Russia has been using crypto to avoid sanctions, even though they pushed them off the SWIFT system, now they're saying, look, they're criminals. Now we really need to push this aspect of it and tighten it all up. Make sure people can't get their hands on it now. Does that make sense? And the last one, it says, also, if this is one that's cool. If you get hacked, you owe them money. Not you, but the business owes the government money. That's cool. So they want their hacking up for excuses, so they say. Okay, now that I've cleared that, we can move on because, again, this is just topics. And so I gave you the Russian answer here of why they moved into crypto. Now the world's saying Russia's using crypto to avoid sanctions. Well, let's back this up a little bit. And this is kind of old, and this is really where we're going to go to. Okay. Russian banks are so broke. This is what they're saying. This is Fortune. Russian banks are so broke. The biggest lender just got the go-ahead to issue digital assets like crypto. Like it's such a big deal. Like banks are so broke that they have to turn to crypto. Okay, explain this to me. You're going to use that when America goes to CBDCs? Is China's banks so broke that they went to CBDCs and issued digital assets? This is what they want. Like, this is disinformation. That if you're in crypto, you're broke. Or how about you just took them off the SWIFT system so they needed another way to move their money? I mean, you already, sanctions-wise, you're not going to allow them to sell their bonds. I mean, you got Coinbase blocking people. What else do you really want? But I wanted to dive into this more because this was going to be the full story today, and I just was not sure I need more research on this. I saw this in the New Creation Cronies group, okay? And we're going to dive in. That's why we're here. But I want more information on this specific thing that we're going to talk about because Sberbank, okay, Sberbank, SBER Bank, Russia's largest lender, received a license to issue digital assets, okay? So they're going to be allowed to issue those digital assets. Now, that's the big thing for the central bank. We're talking about CBDCs, so the central bank can issue that. So we're seeing that across the board. Now, why does that matter? Well, I wanted to dig a little bit more, okay? So here's why. So this is April 4th. This is today's. Now, this news, guys, by the way, is almost 3 weeks ago, March 18th, 2022. But now we got another one here in Market Insiders. They also launched on Yahoo, and they put this press release out. So whenever you see these kind of things, this is more of a press release that was pushed out. So not so much their news, but what this information wanted to get out. So what New Creation wrote a press release and gave it to them, Markets Insider would just print it. They don't really going to do the research on it. So that's what this is. And it says Russia's biggest bank got permission to issue a digital currency weeks after the Ukraine, right? Weeks after the Ukraine, we'll call it invasion, the war that's going on there. But you guys remember before that, right? They were really, Russia said Bitcoin and we're not going to ban, and Ukraine we're not going to ban, and India is going to tax, and all these things were happening in crypto in a positive route in some of these countries that people were like, yeah, for war, because they knew that SWIFT was going to be taken away. So they're here. And so it says that the U.S. and allies are concerned, blah, 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 blah. But I just wanted to share you that specific headline. Russia's biggest bank has been cut out of the global financial markets, and now it's launched a cryptocurrency. What is this cryptocurrency that they so say, right? And this is my thing. So it says the CBDC, blah, 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 blah. But based on the feasibility of this debate, of course, as she's earlier blockchain. Yeah, I was like, why is Ripple mentioned here? Because they're now technically working with Ripple on the books. Yeah, okay, that's just someone's opinion. So that led me to this. And this is where you guys, this is where the cronies, that's what I call people who come in Christ in Crypto, New Creation Podcast, the cronies. You guys are my cronies. We kick it. Okay. Stablecoin, financial freedom. We need to look into this, and maybe I'll dive into this more tomorrow if you guys want me to, because I'm almost out of time for what I want to discuss today. Too many topics today, way too many topics. Stablecoin. That's what this is. That's what I'm hearing in the cronies group. So I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just going to show you. Stablecoin equals financial freedom. The first dual rewards auto staking and auto compounding protocol in Russian DeFi crypto. Okay, so we click and let's go see. This is their website, one, which is, I see a lot of VR stuff, but fixed APY, 383,025.8%, 2.9% daily, automatic staking and compound, get rewards every 15 minutes, holders are auto rewarded and 3% stablecoin tether. This is something I really want to look into. Because if this is directly involved Russia, they're trying to push it and trying to give. I don't know what's happening here, but this is insane. And I don't know about you, but I've been burnt in a couple of these DeFi projects, so I'm not happy and I'm not backing this. But if this is directly connected to Russia, as I am hearing, this is something we got to look into. So if you know about Stablecoin, let me know if you're interested. And getting on here. If you know someone who really knows this, I would love to bring somebody on to talk about it. It's time for me to start bringing guests on, invite and talk about different projects, because I don't know everything. In fact, I don't know a lot. I can do charts. That's pretty much it. All research is all together. We all want to research together, right? So if you know somebody who wants to come on and talk about this, or you want to hit us up in the cronies chat on Telegram, drop this, because this is the focus right now. This could be one of them seeing things that we all can make some serious money off of, not knowing really what it is yet. So it's a pre-sale. It looks to be attached to Russia, specifically the Sberbank that was just taken care of by the Russian, whoever issues their license, right? The Russian government is allowing them to do this. So that is something that we really need to pay attention to. Yeah. This is something for sure. So check out Serbcoin. Let me know. Let's talk more about it later. Because obviously they really think that Russia coming in here to push into crypto is a step backwards. Like, this is what they're saying. This is what the world wants you to think. Oh, Russia went into crypto, therefore they took a step back. It's tried and it's failed. Since when has crypto a failed thing? And what country has tried it enough to fail? But here's the thing. The people who write this is the people who only want them to use Bitcoin. Bitcoin solves it all. Everything else is crap. And I'm not even going to play the maxis who talk like that, right? There's no point, because this is a space where all tides rise. Bitcoin will do some things, will do some good things, but it's Napster, right? The thought process of it is still like Napster. That's like saying, hey, you want to download music? You want to listen to music? Why don't you jump on Napster and download a torrent file, and then you can convert it and then play it in an MKV file, right? No one does that anymore. You just get on Apple Music, you get on Spotify, you get on YouTube. You don't do it the old way once there's a better way. And that's what we're seeing here. And that's what Russia is thinking with putting their ruble on gold, right? And not paying for natural gas in US dollar, and not paying for oil in the US dollar. Why do it the old way? It's no longer working. So mass media comes after them for this. Russia's push into crypto is a big step backwards. I disagree, but they're definitely pushing into crypto, fired into crypto. And a country has to take advantage of it, and China is backing them. So let's see what happens. What are your guys' thoughts on this section? The section's done. Man, we got CBDCs in the back of XRP. You got Russian CBDCs. You got the Caribbean and Jamdex and Serbcoin. I mean, you see all this happening right now. So where is this going? I don't know, man. Eventually, we're all going to have one government. Looks like we're all going to one government. Like, we're all going to one type of currency, all in one system. It's moving in that direction. But for now, this is where we stand. This is what we watch. So this is the end of our news topic section, our daily news article section. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, do the social media thing. Today is what, April 5th. So thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and hit that end this button. I love to do this. Let's just end the section because it's easy to say that. So let me know below what you think of this section. Comment. Thanks. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media at Twitter.